Hello everybody, Shelly here. So I had a request. Thank you guys, by the way. I'm happy to do requests. And I got a request for another UCanBe palette. The last UCanBe palette I did a video on, which was this Bubble Nebula palette. Didn't work out so well. The formula was a little sketchy. The question was asked, do you have other UCanBe palettes and is the formula the same? I do have other UCanBe palettes. 3 other UCanBe palettes. I'm gonna pick one that most closely matches the Bubble Nebula palette, and we're gonna come up with 3 looks. 3 looks using one palette. A work look, a fun kind of daytime look, a date night look, because we like to ask the question here, can a single palette give you at least 3 looks, and does that make it a good value? This is a palette I purchased on Amazon, so it was not super expensive to begin with. Does Magic Spell put me under its spell? Okay guys, I'm back. I kind of have this high-low thing going on, and so I've got the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I've got the Shiseido self-refreshing synchro skin color 260 cashmere. I think it might be even a little too cool for me. I tend to be on the more neutral side, but I don't know, maybe I need to warm it up a little bit. Speaking of warming it up, I did go with the Natasha Denona Tan, Bronze, and Glow palette. I haven't used this on camera before. And then I have a little bit of the Natasha Denona Bloom Blush and Glow palette. And then I also use the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. This is the blurring primer. Recently I did the Bubble Nebula changeable UCanBe palette, and it didn't perform as well as I wanted to, and it's full of pastel-y shimmers and things like that. It's a pretty palette. It's supposed to be a dupe for a Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. So I've got that video up online. I did 3 looks with it already. I have 3 other UCanBe palettes, and the question I was asked was, do you have the same challenges? Is the formula the same on different palettes? So I've got 3 to choose from. I want to try to find one that's as close in formula as possible. The first one is called Back to School. And if you look at it, it's got a ton of like super bold, bright colors. So I don't think this is going to give me the same experience as before. It really only has like 4 shimmers and then like a really chunky glitter. So I don't know that that one's really gonna be as close to a comparison to the Bubble Nebula. I also have the Living Coral palette. Very corally, very springy. This really does feel like spring. And I've got like 6 or 7 shimmers, a chunky glitter, and then like a pressed metallic in here. So this is a possibility. And then the other one I have is the Magic Spell palette, and Magic Spell looks like this. And I think that one actually might be closer to the experience of the other one. So we're going to use the Magic Spell palette today. Sorry to kind of go through that process with you guys, but I wasn't really sure where I was going to go. So if you'd like to see the other palettes, please let me know. Leave a comment down below. We're just going to get into 3 looks with this one palette. I'm going to start with a work look, and I'm going to do what I normally do, which is speed you up and play some music.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together.
Work look. Super fast, super easy. I can tell you I did not have the same problems. I only used one of the pressed glitter or pressed shimmers, and I think that was kind of one of my chunky monkey issues before. So I really only used 3 colors in here. I guess I used 3 colors in here. I don't have any issues with these at all. For a work look, it actually came together very quickly. I did go in with a little bit of a Morphe white eyeliner, kind of out of my waterline, and then again with the, and it's a ColourPop gel liner on my top lash line, and then the Pretty Vulgar mascara, which I told you in my unbox, or my first time I used it, that I didn't really care for it. After it's been open and kind of dried out a little bit, I like it a lot better. So first look done. I had to change my battery. I'm gonna take this off and I'll be back in just a moment. I think I got the majority of that old eyeshadow off, and this time I went in with a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape just to kind of set my eyelids just a little bit. I didn't use any primer last time and it performed very well. We're gonna go in with a little bit more of a fun look because there are some pretty colors in here.
It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here.
Okay, you guys, so this is actually kind of fun. I didn't know where I was going with this. At first I was like, oh, are these shimmers gonna do the same thing? Are they gonna be chunky monkey? And they're really not. The one that I was kind of, here I'm gonna show you some just finger dips in there a little bit. This one right here, you know how hard that is? That one right there looks like a duochrome in here. It just kind of ended up being a warm brown. And I don't know if that's because I applied it with a brush. No, when I do it with my finger, it's not really a duochrome. So it looks like a duochrome in here, but it just kind of washes out to a warm brown. I like this look because, I gotta be honest, I like a kind of a grungy green sort of look anyway. I took my inspiration for this look as I started building color from the fact that this is called Magic Spell. I thought that the kind of greens that were kind of brighter and that ombre'd into the darker green and the chocolate brown was actually kind of a fun way to do green without doing like green, like all over the lid green. This fluorescent neon green right here didn't really impress me all that much. Now, if I really go into it, there we go, I can kind of get a color off of it if I really dig into it. The one concern I had with this palette was that I was going to get that chunky, pressed, metallic, shimmery, that was just going to kind of fall apart when I dipped a brush into it. I used fingers, I used brush, I didn't really have a whole lot of issues with it. I think that these shimmers do perform better with a fingertip, just to be honest. If you're going to get this palette, No, I would say that, just keep in mind. So I haven't dipped into all the colors in here. I've got some bronzies, some pinks, and so I'm gonna take this off and we're gonna come back in. I think this is actually this could actually be a really pretty date night look, and now I'm kind of sad that I did it in this order, so we'll see what happens after I do the next look. I'm gonna take this off, I'll be right back. All right guys, one more look with this UCanBe Magic Spell eyeshadow palette. And if I didn't mention earlier, you got 18 shades. There's a combination of some shimmers and some mattes and no big monster pressed glitters like some of the other palettes. So we're gonna go in with our third and final look. Hopefully a date night look, and hopefully see if it competes with the kind of green, smoky, a little bit more fun look. I think the pinks and the greens together would actually be really cool. And if I would have thought of that ahead of time, I probably would have done that as a look.
I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me, we're meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Ended up being a little softer, cozier, sweeter, prettier than I thought it was going to be going in, which I'm not upset about that actually at all. It's maybe not necessarily what I would have done for date night, but for a cute meeting the girls, running out, like daytime, daylight kind of look, I actually think it's perfectly fine. I think you could go edgier with the greens and the pinks together maybe. I did run into this one right here, was a little chunky monkey when I dipped a firmer brush into it. I used this little elf brush. I don't even know what brush this is. It's got relatively firm bristles, and it was a chunky mess. So then I went into it with another fine brush that is a little bit softer bristles. It seemed to apply, but then it just kind of, I could see it like falling down when I was trying to dab it on. It was like snow. So then I used my finger to kind of buff it in a little bit, and that helps because when you feel it, it's very, very soft. Like it feels like a cream, but using a brush, I got all over. So that's the only one that I tried with a firmer brush that I was kind of disappointed in. I think there are a couple of shades like this bronzy one right here that you could use as an all over the lid color if you're, in a rush, you wanted to do this one and maybe this darker one to get out the door, or the same thing with this kind of, lighter colored, almost like a caramel colored, and then this darker one in the same color family. I think those two, or even just the pinks, this, the color that I used is my transition shade, this one right here, and then this one that I kind of put on my lid a little bit. I think those are, you know, you got your 2, maybe 3 colors that you get out the door fast. I'm not upset with this palette. I didn't know what to expect after the Bubble Nebula palette. I was really kind of expecting something's gonna kind of fall apart. And so I went in preconceived thinking this isn't gonna go well. And then I'm pleasantly surprised. Is this a palette that I could see doing 3 looks with? Actually, yeah. I can see more than 3 looks. I think, you know, coming up with 3 looks, a prettier sort of sweater weather kind of look, more of a sultry, smoky date night look, and a perfectly appropriate work look. You absolutely can get these in there. So I'm happy. I'm happy. And I've got, you know, 2 more of these UCanBe palettes. They're not expensive. I got them on Amazon, I'm pretty sure. So hopefully you can still find them there. And this is a win for me. This is one that I could see myself playing around with a little bit more, using a little bit more. I think this definitely trumps that Bubble Nebula. I mean, it's not a super high-end palette. It's not going to behave like a high-end palette. So I did find that when I blended some of the colors, it blended them away. It kind of lifted them. You know what? As soon as I saw that it was doing that, you just go back over it. So I'm okay with this, actually. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to doctor this up a little bit for date night. Hope you found this video helpful. As a reminder, I'm not a professional makeup artist. This is a friendly forum, and I have the best subscribers in the world. So if you want to join that club of being part of the best subscribers in the world, feel free to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, come back around. I like to do 3 looks with 1 palette. Leave a comment down below. Were you as surprised as I was with this palette? This Magic Spell UCanBe 18 palette or 18 shade eyeshadow palette? Were you surprised? I gotta admit, I was. So I am gonna wish you guys a very good afternoon. I don't know what day this is gonna go up. Probably Monday. This will probably be my Monday post. I feel like I have a lot of shimmer going on, a lot of bronzy, but part of that's the Natasha Denona palettes. They gave me a lot of like glow. I'm probably gonna tone it down a little bit with this Charlotte Tilbury. This is her Airbrush Flawless Finish. So I'm gonna probably use some of this because you guys haven't tried this yet. It's really good. It was kind of a mess, but you know, tone down some of the shine. This is kind of the way to do it. Oh yeah. Until my next video, bye for now. I just like to talk to you guys. And I want you guys to talk back. So, I mean, like, not like talk back in a, you know, teenager kind of way.